So I finally ran out of my free coffee drinks, or my free drinks here at Pilot and Flying J a couple weeks ago, I guess. And then I noticed that the bill for my coffee was starting to add up. I already cut out the bill for the soda by buying it at the grocery store and just putting it in the truck instead of stopping at every truck stop and getting soda, or my water, my liquid death. But I ran out of my free coffees as well, so, and that bill started to add up. Like Flying J, Love's, all these places are wanting like almost $3, a little over $2. But basically after taxes, almost $3 or more for a cup. So I decided to get myself a little coffee pot. Started to make my own coffee. That way, saving some money and whatnot. Being a business owner is a lease purchase. You have to run it as you're a business owner. Those little expenses can add up. Found out the hard way, because I kept eating out and kept buying my drinks and whatnot. So now I stop at the grocery store and I buy a whole bunch of groceries right along with getting my drinks. So yeah, those little things add up. Good morning, y'all. I figured to make a really quick video. Well, quick video and just make a discussion about percentage pay versus mileage pay as a lease purchase operator. Excuse the attire. I'm just sitting in my PJs, waiting for a shower here at the Flying J. Currently in number 2 in line, so starting to go down. Personally, in my opinion, between percentage and miles pay, I've had a better success at the mileage pay program over percentage. But then again, I only went through one other company on the percentage. Their percentage that they were giving me wasn't bad, 80%. I guess their customer base with that company, I just wasn't set up. I was completely on the West Coast only, and I just wasn't making any money on top of the truck payment, everything else, much higher than what it is, what I'm paying now. So to each their own. Another previous company I tried, Lease Up, I did amazing. That was a mileage based pay, just like it is here. Pretty similar rate and everything else. Quite a few differences though too between the two programs. I was pretty successful in that other program with that other company. I just kept having issues with the truck and personal issues to where I had to walk away from it. I don't know, here at RTI I think I'm doing pretty well on miles pay. Again, like I said, I guess it all depends on the company you work for and how many customers they have. I don't have an issue with people who are paid percentage. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think that in the industry you can get screwed over either way, mileage pay or percentage. I had a buddy of mine who actually started his own company and got his own DOT number, all of that, and he was getting screwed over by the company that he was working with on a percentage pay. He also had a driver for him where he was only paying his driver 20% of the load of whatever that driver negotiated for the load. again, it was one of those, the only thing I can say is it's one of those foreign-owned broker companies that he was going through, and you had to negotiate every load you had. There wasn't just a set, but you had to negotiate every load you had, and you only got so much percentage of that negotiation. He ended up going belly up. Now I know there are companies out there. I will never work for this company, so I guess I will put it out there. Landstar, they pay percentage. There's a lot of people who make it work with them, and then there's a lot of people that don't like them. I know Landstar, they give you a percentage, but then they take quite a bit out. There's also quite a few bit of people out there, as you can see on YouTube here, quite a bit of people that gone through Schneider. Schneider gives you a very low percentage and takes quite a bit of the money. So a Schneider driver, and personally, in my opinion, a Landstar driver is basically making the exact same amount of money as I'm making on a lot of these loads that I'm doing, and I'm being mileage based. So for me as a business model, I'm all by the numbers. So for me, I can sit there and I can go, okay, well, this is the miles I need for the week to be profitable. On a percentage, you're kind of you're going off of, yes, you can figure it out how many loads you got to have per week with that percentage to be profitable. I just could never figure it out. So I am doing much better at a mileage-based pay. For me, I can just count the miles. I can calculate the amount of miles I need, and I know what I'm going to get paid per mile, no matter what. Here at RTI, it does fluctuate depending on the fuel prices, which is nice. So, like currently with the fuel prices where they are, I'm getting $1.63 a mile. When I first started, I was getting $1.65, $1.67 a mile. But with fuel prices that have come down, I am at $1.63 a mile, and that's the way it's been for the last, 5 weeks or so. So I think there's a lot of pros and cons between mileage, and also a lot of pros and cons between percentage. To each their own, in my opinion. I think if the business model that you have is succeeding in either one of those, then go for it, and who cares what other people say. As a lease purchase person, you're always going to get looked at and being told you're being fleeced and whatnot, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, if the business model works for you, then in my opinion, mileage or percentage, they both have pros and cons. So you just got to not listen to other people's opinions, and you need to figure out what works best for you. And if it works good for you and you're making money, then stick to it, and who cares what other people think. You're always going to have naysayers, and you're always going to have people who are going to doubt you or sit there and go, oh, you're stupid for doing what you're doing. Just continue moving forward and doing what you need to do to survive and make the money that you need to make and whatnot. So that's just my opinion on it. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to hear from people who are watching my videos. What do you think is better, mileage or percentage? I know to each their own. Please be respectful in the comments about which one you think is better, because everybody has a different opinion on which program works better for them and whatnot. But I would love to hear your guys' opinion. So put it down in the comments section here on this video. Also, please like and follow would be greatly appreciated. My video, I'm trying to build up some base here and trying to get people to just watch my videos and whatnot and follow my journey. So yeah, what's your guys' opinion? Put it down in the comments. Is mileage base better or percentage? All right.
Never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
All right, y'all, so I'm going to start this week's review. As you can see, I am not driving. I am stopped. Voila. Week 8 went pretty well, I guess. Let me move this again. Son of a bitch. There we go. I mean, it was stressful, to say the least. Spent 2 days inside the shop, getting my annual inspection on the truck, getting some things fixed on the truck, right along with getting my APU serviced. So I got oil changed. So basically, if you're in the trucking industry, whatever as we would call a B service, oil change, filters changed, all that. I got a B service on my APU. They also found some things that needed to get fixed on the truck, so they ended up fixing those while doing the annual inspection for this truck. It took about 2 days, which was pretty annoying and upsetting. But I mean, I guess I can't really complain too much. All I'm paying for is, for the truck portion at least, all I'm paying for is $150 deductible. The APU, I'm going to get charged for that fully, whatever it took them hour-wise, the oil, the filter, all of it. The APU is not included in their maintenance plan that they have, so yeah. Week 8 though overall went pretty well. I got about 2,800 miles, a little over, so I mean I can't really complain. My pace element was pretty good. Not my best, but definitely not my worst. So I'm still liking RTI. Also found a new Liquid Death while out here on the road. New flavor, Killer Cola. And just so everybody can see, it is a water on there. It is water, not alcohol. Also, I am not a paid spokesperson for Liquid Death, but this is the first time trying it, so figured I'd try it on with you guys present. Not bad. Liquid Death. If you guys have watched my videos, I love this stuff. They make a tea version and water, and I keep finding new flavors like every other week or every couple of weeks. So yes, I have tried their Dr. Thunder, Dr. K, whatever, their Dr. Pepper version, where people think that it tastes like Dr. Pepper. No, I don't think so. This tastes more like a soda than water, than the Doctor one. So refreshing. Overall, still, I'm pretty happy here. They get me home when I want to get home. I'm getting miles, as you can tell. Now, last week I talked about a more dedicated kind of a route kind of thing that we were going to do. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out. We are still going to try it, my driver manager said, but this time out, I guess it didn't work. What he had planned and what he thought would work did not work out for us. So I guess we'll stay tuned on that and see if that continues going and if we're going to work on that or not. RTI is still pretty good company in my opinion. They keep me busy. They treat you like family. Shop people are pretty cool. I have found out though I prefer the nighttime crew on the shop there in Kansas. They're a little bit quicker on fixing things than the daytime guys. But overall, the entire shop does pretty well. So I guess the only gripe I have is the seat is broken, as you can hear. Also, if I can get it to work, it moves forward. The cool thing about these trucks that they have here at RTI is they offer this pleather right along with cooling and heated seats. Unfortunately, on my driver's side, the cooling and heating element has fallen out the back, as well as the seat being broken. This last 2 times I've been in the shop, I've asked them to try to fix it, and they've kind of just put a band-aid on it to make it to where it can continue being seatable for me to sit in, which is a little annoying, especially with the amount of money I'm going to be paying on this truck, or I am paying for this truck. I should be able to have a seat that actually has all the stuff in it, and not technically have to pay for it myself. So, but again, that's not reality. The reality is I'm a lease op, buying this truck, so anything that's with this truck, I'm going to have to pay for. So, I've come to the realization I'm just going to deal with the seat until I can't deal with it anymore, and then go from there. So, but yeah, still pretty happy here, trying to get things worked out, trying to make it to where I can make some money and actually finally maybe get ahead on some bills in my personal life, on top of maybe getting into an actual apartment. That would be nice. Seeing how I'm currently from the truck, I live in an extended stay hotel. So when I'm not in the truck, which is pretty fun by itself. So just trying to stay in the positive on the on making money for the truck and making sure that the truck's paid for, and then obviously trying to keep maintenance up and trying to just stay busy. Unfortunately for me, I'm one of those drivers that if I sit for too long, then I get inside my head, and then that starts becoming some pretty bad things, because then I start become a Debbie Downer when it comes to the truck, to my job, excuse me, and to the truck. So yeah, but still doing good, still loving it here at RTI. Just plugging along. So as always, here at the end of the video, you're going to be able to see my pay settlement for this week. I'm going to try to always be open and honest about what I make every week, whether it's ugly or good. That way, if you decide you want to come over to RTI, there are nothing hidden. So yeah, just like and subscribe to my channel if you want to continue following me and watching my videos and continue with me on my journey. And yeah, I guess we'll on to the next video then.